Yeah, I was the mummy that when grade 1 they were all having Oktoberfest sausages, and I wrote the grade 1 teacher and said, "That's really great. May I just send some food for my son because we don't eat pork?" And she was absolutely devastated. She was, "I'm so sorry, please let me do anything I can to help this situation. We don't have to have Oktoberfest sausages." And I said, "No, that's not fair. We'll just make accommodations for our son." And then there was other children who were Muslim that didn't eat pork, and they were like, "Oh, well, we don't eat pork either." Okay, so it kind of started a dialogue, I think.
They'll just ask, "Why can't you eat pork?" And then we'll just say we're Jewish, it's just a dietary restriction. They won't really ask anymore normally.
My children cannot eat pork, any pork products. They don't mix meat with dairy. So on some of those school events, even if this stuff touches, they go so far, like we'll order 2 pizzas. One will have meat, one will have just cheese or vegetarian. They will go so far as to wear different gloves. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but for my kids and for me, that meant a lot to us. I've actually had teachers ask me, "Do you want us to keep the room pork-free?" And I was like, "Good luck on that." I don't need that, but I do appreciate that.
It is always not necessary to have a Buddhist temple to practice Buddhism, because more than prayer, it's a way of living. How you live, what you practice is what is important in Buddhism. At the same time, having a Buddhist temple, going to the temple, reminds you of the religion, Though it's not an important part of Buddhism, it helps.
Say it's a Poya day, if they don't eat any meat, so it's like they are respecting on that day.
We don't eat beef or pork or ham or anything. We just eat chicken and fish, because in our religion it's bad to eat, it's not really religious or kind to eat red meat.
We never encounter extreme diversity in the basic teachings of the church. It doesn't change based on where you grew up, where you came from, what your culture is. In terms of practices, the differences are really, are you very active or not? There is an ideal that we believe we're all striving for. We're just all on different planes in that continuum. So a less active Latter-day Saint might not be coming to church every Sunday, might not have a volunteer position or a lay ministry position, might not read their scriptures every day or pray every day, but those would be characteristics of the most active members.
The standard is that we don't drink tea or coffee. Parent-teacher nights or things like that might just be something to think about and kind of have in the back of your mind as administrators, that if there's water that can be put out or juice or something like that, that would just make us feel more included.
The fact that we don't drink alcohol, don't smoke cigarettes, don't do drugs, that kind of thing, can sometimes be taken to extremes in people's mind. And we do eat all kinds of meat, and we use the regular medical system.
You can be vegetarian if you are Hindu, but if you're Hindu, you don't have to be vegetarian. Normally I pack my own lunch, but if I do go to the cafeteria, there is always some selection for me.
So, for example, our servings in our cafeteria, are they respectful of individuals with certain dietary restrictions or limitations? When we have a food day, are we taking into account part of our population that may not be approaching food with the same eye that a practicing Christian would?
They have given me options. Like before, they were giving us for pizza, so they were giving us the option of pepperoni, cheese, or vegetables.
And I think that's part of our everyday reality, is just trying to be a little more aware and a little bit more respectful of the diversity of our population.
awareness, about Islam and the practice of our religion. We have certain dietary recommendation. For example, we can't eat pork, we can't eat pepperoni. And the kids also, like when they serve them pizza with pepperoni, our kids, the Muslim kids, they feel, oh, why we don't have halal pepperoni?
Fortunately, and my daughter, she took away the pieces of the meat out of the pizza, and she ate the pizza. And I talked to the school, and they said, we are sorry, we are not going to do that again. And they only serve here now vegetable or veggie pizza.
Sometimes the cheese also has got rennet or pepsin in it, which is again a forbidden substance for Muslims. It's an animal, both are animal byproducts. So we've encouraged the students that either just bring a pizza from home or avoid that, because we don't want to create a situation where a student's piety or a student's closeness to God, the spirituality gets affected as well.
In Baha'i faith, we believe in this concept that we call progressive revelation. And by that we mean that there is this covenant of God, which God has created us. As time goes on and as humanity increases in capacity, He will send these universal educators, which we call manifestations of God. All these religions of past that we have had up to now, we see them as one religion, but that's one progressive religion.
I have an older daughter who's, gone through the fast, and it's very, very difficult to keep up with the intensity of the schoolwork.
When you turn the age of 15, that's what we consider the age of maturity. You start fasting. So there's a 19-day fast where you're not eating from sunrise to sunset.
It's basically 12 hours, and there's no drinking of water or anything.
But we still have to go to school, and a lot of times, it's hard because you're tired, you're not eating.
The thing is, we've never asked for accommodations.
And sometimes it's hard to explain to every single person what you're doing.
But if there was one period of the year that I would say Baha'i kids could really benefit from accommodations, it's during the fast.
Once in a year, a Muslim for approximately 30 days would be fasting. They would not be able to eat or drink anything, not even water, not even juices or anything. So on occasion, if they've got physical education, if they've got gym class, they may feel overtired or overthirsty. And so in the past, some students who have had issues, we've asked them to be perhaps do their physical activities at another time, or perhaps do health class instead during the time that Ramadan, which is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, is in.
What I need from the school, don't make field trips during fasting times. Don't let the kids go to gym when it is hot day and they feel thirsty because they can't eat or drink anything. I want our kids to feel they are belonging to the society. They came from far away to this country, so they have to feel welcoming.
Sick children don't fast. There's no prescribed fasting times. We will eat less at times when we're meditating. Many Sikhs are vegetarian. Most people will not eat eggs, meat, fish, seafood, all of those things. Sikhs don't drink wine. So knowing those kind of things is important.
It's getting to know your kids, it's getting to know the people in your school, it's getting to have those daily conversations with the students. What do you like? What do you need? What can we do?
More awareness and just making sure that our practices include all our members of our community. And that's what religious accommodation is. It's something that takes time, that's built on knowledge and built on relationships.